are working on a product that we have called internally a PLD. PLD stands for Personal Locating Device, which is an implantable GPS for which our company owns a patent and can be implanted surgically in the clavicle area of a child or someone that you are interested in tracking.
Gives you a sneak peek into what's in store, so be sure to subscribe. I'll drop the link in the description. Remember the 90s and early 2000s when everybody was buzzing about the Illuminati? Folks were out here sounding the alarm about a future of total control, microchips, surveillance, and a system where buying and selling might one day require a mark, just like the book of Revelation 13 warned us about.
The prophecy of the mark of the beast is one of the most incredible in the Bible. Simply stated, it tells us that in the last days, no man, woman, or child will be able to buy or sell anything unless they have a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. You see, Revelation chapter 13, chapter of the Bible that speaks the most clearly about the new world order that will exist in the last days. And this new world order is made up of a political system that will span the world, a religious system that will span the world, and an economic system that will span the world. When we talk about this movement towards the mark of the beast, therefore, we're not talking about automated teller machines in Iowa or Kansas or in Florida. We're talking about an electronic web that will spread throughout and span the entire globe in the last days.
Rappers were not staying quiet either. Jay-Z, Prodigy, Tupac were dropping knowledge, calling out a secret society. Prodigy broke it down best. Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. Secret society trying to keep their eye on me.
Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body. Secret society trying to keep their eye on me.
Hey, God, I wonder, can you save me?
Illuminati want my mind, soul, and my body.
Tupac even warned about dodging computer chips in his 2002 track. They don't give a f about us.
They expect Illuminati, take my body to sleep me. Before I fit computer chips, I gotta deal with brothers.
Shocker biochip. It says here, taken from the Marin Independent Journal in Los Angeles, most likely, he added, it would be implanted on the back of the right or left hand for convenience, so it would be easy to scan. They're talking about putting the chip into people's hands now.
The VeriChip, it's about the size of a grain of rice, and it contains special codes that doctors and nurses can scan and then use to access the patient's current medications and other vital health information that are stored on another secure database.
Each chip contains a unique 16-digit number that, when scanned, connects doctors to an internet database that retrieves medical records instantly. It was originally used for tracking lost pets.
When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID, and he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all in chip, so I use it like to get around the building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks.
Exactly.
So I can't open it.
No.
Okay.
So what I need to do is I need to first blip my chip, and it will log me in, and from there I get access to the fridge.
Tonight, Ripley's will introduce you to the world's first microchipped family, affectionately referred to as the Chipsons.
You may remember when we had the Jacobs family here on Today last month, they announced they'd be the first family to be fitted with the VeriChip. It's a tiny computer chip that can be implanted in the body and then scanned for personal and medical information in emergency situations. Well, they're back this morning to have the procedure done. Jeff, Leslie, and Derek Jacobs are joined by Dr. David Wolkin. And Keith Bolton of Applied Digital Solutions joins us as well, right, Keith?
Good morning, Katie. How nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too. Briefly, for people who might not be familiar with this technology, can you just describe what the VeriChip is and how it works?
Yes, VeriChip is an advanced verification system. It's designed to have a small little needle injected inside of the body, and there's a small little chip that can provide information in the event that you cannot speak.
Where is it implanted generally, Keith?
Generally, it's implanted in the upper right area to the shoulder, and Jeff Jacobs is actually having his in the shoulder type area.
Leslie and Derek, I know that you had your chips implanted earlier this morning. How did the procedure go, Derek?
It went very well. I was actually amazed on how simple and easy it was.
Yeah, and Leslie, how about you? Are you feeling any after effects? Was it painful in any way?
Oh, no, it was incredibly simple. I felt absolutely nothing, and I feel great.
Dr. Wilkin, why don't you go ahead and implant the chip and just show us how this works?
Can I have the chip, please? This is the insertion cannula, and we have to take the piece of tape off.
I just wanted to ask Keith. Keith, you know, this will be scanned for information, but how many emergency rooms in this country actually have scanners, and how will they know that they have to scan the patient in the first place? It's not like somebody can say, hey, by the way, I've got a VeriChip in my shoulder, check it out. A lot of times people won't be in a condition to say that, right?
That is probably correct. However, we have spoke with many hospitals, and quite a few hospitals in Florida will have already agreed to take the scanner. As far as the procedure, we will give a particular card that would be in a wallet. In the event that they do not see the card, then the medical attendant will either ask you to have a chip, or we hope that the natural procedure would be to just scan over the particular area of the body so they can have that valuable information quickly.
I understand this costs $200 for the implantation and then $40 for an annual fee to update information.
Well, it's $200 for the chip itself, and then it's $9.95 to have your information stored in the FDA compliant database that we have.
I've made a little incision in the skin, and I'm getting ready to insert the cannula. And the cannula is in, and the chip is now extruded, and we're finished.
Okay, well, that was quick. Jeff, I don't mean to ignore you. How are you doing down there?
Well, you know, I have a doctor who's got the best hands that I know, so of course that's good, and my wonderful family and everyone around, and I thank God so much that I've been given the gift to have something special like this to save my life in case of an emergency.
Interesting technology. Derek, real quickly, are you worried about the whole Big Brother thing, invasion of privacy?
Well, the chip is a freedom of choice thing, and if you want to have it, it's up to you. If you feel that you have a need for it, that's great, and you should get the chip in if you want. And also, you get to choose the information that's on it. So, in our case, we want this information known to the people that need to know it in case of an emergency. So, no, I'm not worried.
Sean Darks, chief executive of CityWatcher.com, didn't want to ask his employees to do anything he wouldn't do. So he had this chip embedded under his skin. The chip has an access code for admittance into a room holding security footage for government agencies and police. For Darks, the tiny chip is a security solution. No IDs for employees to lose. They can't. It's right there in their arm.
Were rappers like Prodigy and Tupac trying to warn us about what's coming? Think back to the 90s. Movies weren't just entertainment. They were warnings. The Adventures of the Galaxy Rangers. This dropped in 1986, and it was way ahead of its time.
Captain Fox, based on your report, the Board of Leaders has approved your special team of Galaxy Rangers. Each will utilize the new Series 5 brain implant. When charged, the microcircuitry in your badge will trigger this implant. Each of you has unique abilities which will be amplified in extraordinary ways. Zachary Fox, your implant will turn your advanced bionics into a powerful weapon.
I'm ready. My wife, I've got to bring her back home.
Doc Hartford.
Yeah, I am ready.
Your implant will make you a computer wizard, conjuring fantastic computer programs. Nico, your implant will strengthen your psychic senses.
The human race faces grave dangers from beyond the stars.
Shane Gooseman, your implant will trigger advanced internal biodefenses that will make you nearly invincible.
Stand by for action. Our time has come.
Zachary?
Sir.
The implant is still experimental, but your team is the best chance we've got.
We are the only chance.
Here's the analysis on the new gene vegetables.
Did you catch the gene vegetable?
Here's the analysis on the new gene vegetables.
In the Galaxy Rangers episode titled Phoenix, the gene vegetables were a sci-fi take on genetically modified organisms, GMOs. And today, genetically modified crops are everywhere. Scientists have engineered crops like corn, soybeans, cotton, canola, alfalfa, sugar beets, papaya, apples, and potatoes. Unlike the Galaxy Rangers version, today's GMOs don't regenerate tissue or extend life. At least, not yet.
Here they come, genetically engineered tomatoes.
Calgene's Flavor Savor tomato went on the market today.
The first genetically engineered food approved for sale. The tomato stays riper longer than the non-engineered variety, and they say it's tastier.
A taste that took 8 years and $20 million to develop.
Sure, I'll be buying these. I like them.
So the result is that we have a tomato that was picked 30 days ago that has not been refrigerated and is as perfect as the day it was picked when compared to a normal tomato that's been sitting around and doesn't look too good.
Last week, the FDA gave its long-awaited seal of approval to this country's first genetically engineered food. It's a tomato called Flavor Savor.
These are the new Calgenes?
Yes,
they are. Hey. Isn't that wonderful?
The fact that it's genetically engineered doesn't bother you.
Oh, not a bit.
This tomato is every bit as safe as all the tomatoes that we have in the grocery store.
But she does believe that genetically modified foods will not hurt us.
A group in France looked at 12 multi-generational studies and 12 long-term studies in animals, and they found no evidence of a safety concern for any of the genetically engineered crops that are on the marketplace now.
So all those claims that this could be causing cancer and Alzheimer's, there's no scientific evidence of that?
I have found no evidence of a food safety problem.
The science is still inconclusive about GMOs.
So why are they so bad for our health? You really seem to hit on that point.
Well, no long-term studies have ever been done on humans, but when you look at the studies that have been done on animals, it's pretty appalling. You're talking about liver damage and kidney damage, and when they've done fed it to hamsters, the third generation of hamsters weren't able to produce babies.
I have found no evidence of a food safety problem.
The Matrix wasn't just a movie. It was a wake-up call. This film raised deep questions. Are we truly free? Or are we just living inside a system designed to control us? It showed a future where technology had complete power, keeping people asleep and unaware of their true condition. The red pill versus the blue pill choice became a symbol of waking up to the truth or staying comfortably blind. With today's rise of AI, virtual reality, and mass surveillance, the Matrix feels less like fiction and more like prophecy.
What truth? That you are a slave, Neo.
Simulation Man was dropped in 1993. This movie warned about a future where technology dictates how people behave, censorship, and AI monitoring everything we do.
Fuck you!
Your repeated violation of the verbal morality statute has caused me to notify the San Angeles Police Department.
In 2008, former IBM CEO Sam Palmisano spoke at the Council on Foreign Relations. He stated, almost anything, any person, object, process, or service, regardless of size, can become digitally aware and networked.
Computational power is being put into things that you wouldn't recognize as computers. Indeed, almost everything. Any person, any object, any process, any service, any organization, large or small, can become digitally aware and networked.
We're trying to connect all that data, make it smart.
We would see the patterns in your medical history,
In the histories of entire populations. Predict dangerous drug combinations. We could tailor cures
to your genetic code.
That's what I'm working on. I'm an IBMer. Let's build a smarter planet. Let's build a smarter planet.
This wasn't just talk. It was a vision for a world where everything is connected. With AI, big data, and the Internet of Things growing fast, That future is becoming real. Prodigy of Mobb Deep never held back when it came to challenging the system. In his solo track titled Illuminati, he called out government surveillance, control, and manipulation. His music wasn't just art. It was a warning.
But the architects of the New World Order have ways to force you into submission.
The Illuminati was a real group in history, but today what people believe about them is a mix of myths and conspiracy theories. Many believe the entertainment industry is a tool of this hidden agenda, embedding occult symbols into television, film, and music videos.
That's what we call the all-seeing eye. That's on the back of every dollar bill that you've got in your wallet right now. The all-seeing eye is in the middle of an unfinished cap of a pyramid. The pyramid is a sign of the one world government. There's something about the single eye. And the single eye, like the one-eyed cyclops and the one-eyed monsters, that's not an accident. That there's only one eye. Just some volume. The blue one. Plenty of it. See that? What's that eye? What's that all-seeing eye pop up on? Album after album after album after album. And don't even see that pyramid? There's somebody working behind the scenes to get you used to a pyramid and an all-seeing eye. It's been going on for many, many years. The 666, the mark of the beast, and all over. See this? Notice her right eye is darkened. That's not just an accident. Make sure the blue mic has got volume on it, fellas. That's not an accident. Notice Hollywood and the entertainment industry tonight. The dark right eye, no right eye. The dark right eye, the darkened right eye, the darkened right eye, the darkened right eye, the darkened right eye, and over and over and over, across in the dark right eye. The pyramid sign again. You almost would think that they all got together and decided to fool somebody, wouldn't you? Where do they get that? Rihanna. Over and over and over. Katie Hudson. Destiny's Child. You don't realize it. Jasmine. Look at it, folks. There's the pyramid sign. And the dark. Lisa Left Eye Lopez.
Jesse Ventura's conspiracy theory TV show explored the government's HAARP project, an advanced technology allegedly capable of altering human consciousness.
What are they hiding up there in Alaska?
The project is called HAARP. Its function classified.
So how would you describe this world of HAARP?
Dark.
Zap incoming missiles, disrupt global communications, and engineer the weather. And ready? There's one more. Some people believe the technology being tested here could be used for sinister projects involving humans. Radio waves messing around with people's brain waves. And guess what? The military denies this one, too.
The human mind is subject to being affected by radio frequency energy, and
That's what this device is.
In other words, you can move the moods of large populations using this kind of technology.
So now we have not just maniacs in the Pentagon, but a bunch of Dr. Strangeloves? Pretty weird stuff. But scientists have been experimenting with radio frequencies on animals' brains for decades. And the military has followed it all very closely, especially once it found out the Russians were onto it.
It was all kept a deep, dark secret by the two superpowers.
Back in the 60s, the Soviets began zapping the American embassy in Moscow with a low-frequency beam. No one knows for sure what they were up to, but one theory is that they were trying to mess with people's central nervous systems. And one report did say the diplomats got depressed a lot. And hey, just think of all the nifty applications against the enemy. Why blow people up when you can drive them crazy?
From documents dating back into the early 80s, we see that the military had discussed the possibilities of mind control through radio frequency energy. The possibility is there. The military has studied it.
A 1982 Air Force report called radio frequency energy a major new research initiative and said that RF can, quote, disrupt normal purposeful behavior. A 1987 military report called for more research on RF energy as a non-lethal weapon, while pointing out that most of the existing technology is classified. And sure enough, in 1993, there was a big conference at Johns Hopkins University. Here, the entire conference was classified. But the agenda wasn't, and weapons using extremely low radio frequencies, or ELFs, were listed as a very attractive option. Is it just a coincidence that there's been all of this talk and that HAARP will be experimenting with this? Is that all just coincidence?
I believe the ability of ELF to affect the mind is a side issue for us. It may be real. I can't say.
It's been exceedingly difficult to find information on what is supposed to be a major new initiative of the military. All we see is HAARP.
Well, then I'm being kept in the dark, if that's the case.
Today, thousands of people voluntarily implant microchips. RFID technology is no longer a conspiracy theory. It's reality.
Thousands of people in Sweden have opted to trade in their ID and credit cards for tiny microchips implanted underneath their skin. The chips, which use near-field communication technology, take the place of key cards, rail cards, and credit cards. The chips are typically the size of a grain of rice and are implanted just under the skin between the thumb and forefinger. So many Swedes are lining up to get the microchips that the country's main chipping company says it can't keep up with the number of requests.
Would you accept a microchip for medical security or convenience? Or are you keeping that tech far from your body? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's talk about it.
To answer your question directly, Lester, what most people are concerned with is the invasiveness of this, that it goes in your body. And as we know with pacemakers and other medical devices, that when people accept it for its applications and for its ability is when it'll work its way into society. It won't be tomorrow, it won't be next week, but 2, 3, 5 years from now, slowly but surely it'll work its way into the mainstream.